W. King. Now, some of you folks may have visited my bridge down at Watson Mill on the Oglethorpe County line. If you haven't, I'd recommend a short drive up there. Now, these kind folks in Lexington have chosen to feature me today as a bridge builder in Oglethorpe County. But my story begins with my daddy, Horace King, a college-educated master bridge builder, a freed man. He left me with a pair of giant shoes to fill. Now, Daddy was born in 1807 in South Carolina, a slave of mixed ancestry, African, European, Catawba Indian. He looked more Indian than anything else. At an early age, his masters taught him how to read and write, and as a young man, he worked on the P.D. River Bridge in South Carolina, designed and built by Mr. John Godwin. Now, when Daddy was 23, his master died, and he was purchased by Mr. Godwin, who, recognizing his talents, sent him to Oberlin College in the 1830s to study architecture. Oberlin College was the first college in the U.S. to open its doors to Negroes. My, what unusual opportunities Daddy had at an early age. Now, when he returned from college, he and Mr. Godwin built major bridges all over the South using the town lattice truss system. It has a lot of small, close, diagonal elements, much like a garden trellis, held tight with wooden pins at each intersection, while they say that those bridges are built by the mile and cut by the yard. Daddy and Mr. Godwin became quite close building those bridges. By that time, Daddy had met my mama, Frances Gold Thomas, also of mixed ancestry. But unlike Daddy, she was a free woman of color. And because she was free, all 5 of us children were born free. 4 boys and 1 little girl, my sister, Annie Elizabeth. Now, by the mid-1840s, Mr. Godwin had run into some serious financial trouble. But there was no shortage of men looking to buy my daddy, a master bridge builder. Someone offered as much as $6,000. But Mr. Godwin petitioned the Alabama legislature, and in 1846, that body passed a law for freeing Horace King. Now, back then, when a slave was freed, they were required to leave the state. However, Godwin's law exempted Daddy if a $1,000 bond was paid. And since Daddy had been working all the time, he paid that bond himself and traveled freely between Alabama and Georgia building bridges. Now, shortly before the Civil War, Mr. Godwin died, leaving no money for his wife and children. Daddy paid for the burial, provided a residence for the family, and erected a $600 memorial honoring John Godwin. Daddy continued the Godwin business by securing contracts all over Alabama. When the Alabama state capitol burned, it was Daddy who designed a framework for the new building. He used his bridge building techniques to cantilever a double staircase that appears to float with no central support. Oh, Daddy was so proud of that fine staircase. Now, when we became of age, he taught us all the trade of building bridges. And we built bridges all over Georgia and Alabama for the Confederacy. Then came the Civil War. Now, the Union Army came and burned most of those bridges that we had built. Daddy tells the time the Union officers came and took 2 of his best mules. But Daddy threw up a Masonic distress symbol, and they quickly returned those mules with an apology. Now, after the Civil War, we started the King Brothers Bridge Building Company. And as the oldest, I was in charge. Even my little sister, Annie Elizabeth, worked for the company. Now, ironically, all that Union destruction down south, well, that was a boom to the new King Brothers Bridge Building Company, and our bridges were known far and wide to be the best. Now, I know you all might be looking at me and say, well, this is a good story, but what does it have to do with Oglethorpe County? Well, let me tell you about a few of the bridges that we built down here. In 1885, I was given a contract to build a bridge across the South Fork of the Broad River so that workers could cross over to the Watson Grist Mill. Now, by that time, I had learned how to use that ladder system to build longer spans. Watson Mill Bridge has the longest span of any existing wooden bridge in Georgia at 228 feet, and that bridge is still standing strong to this day. I also built the Glade Carton Bridge over the north side of the county, but don't know what happened to that one. Maybe some of you fine folks might know. Now, I had an assistant when I was building these bridges down here by the name of Hunt, and I taught him how to build a town lattice bridge, and he built the Howard Covered Bridge over Big Cloud Creek over near Smithsonian. Used convict labor for that one, and to the best of my knowledge, it's still standing. Well, since we right down the road from Athens, let me tell you all about an infamous, and I said infamous bridge that I built in 1891 over the Oconee. Now, the official name of that bridge was the College Avenue Bridge, but the students, they called it Effie's Bridge after a nearby bordello. I bet those college boys got a lot of use out of that bridge. It stayed there to about 1965 when the Stone Mountain Park over in Atlanta purchased it for $18,000 and placed it in a picnic area over in the park. Now, I love studying rivers and designing strong, sturdy bridges for people to use. I was down at Watson Mill the other day, and I watched a bride walk across with her daddy to be wed. Yeah, it was such a beautiful sight. Well, folks, enjoy your day. And while you're here, say hello to my fellow bridge builder, Pearl and Doc.